I want to lay out a challenge because I don't believe that you've heard of all of these shows on this list before. So I want you to comment your score down below and brag if you hit 5 or more at the end of this video. Now, before she was a rom-com queen, before she launched her own talk show, Drew Barrymore starred in a luxury beach house soap opera that cost $1.5 million per episode and still got canceled after just 6 weeks. And that's just the start. The 1992 TV flops on this list only get more shocking from here. Picture it, 1992. Clinton's playing sax on Arsenio Hall, Crisscross has kids everywhere wearing their clothes backwards, and the real-life vice president is feuding with Murphy Brown. We're counting down the top flops of 1992, so if you're into forgotten TV history, offbeat flops, and shows that deserved better or probably didn't, smash that like button like it's a busted VCR and subscribe for weekly retro flashbacks. Stick around for number 1 because you won't believe which Future Friends creator wasted a TV legend on the biggest missed opportunity of the year.
A train could run over your face, you would apologize to the conductor and worry about being late for work.
At number 10 on our countdown is a show that was meant to be ABC's big fall headliner. Instead, it became a footnote in TV history except for one thing or person. It put Ellen DeGeneres on the radar. Laurie Hill starred Delane Matthews as a pediatrician juggling work and family. It was competently made, professionally acted, and absolutely, positively bland. Critics called it pleasant but unexceptional, aka the TV equivalent of a participation trophy. But buried in the supporting cast was Ellen DeGeneres as Nurse Nancy McIntyre, and she stole every scene she was in with her offbeat timing and dry delivery. Viewers noticed. So did ABC. In fact, Ellen got more fan mail than the lead. Side note, by the way, comment if you've ever sent fan mail to any shows and which shows were they. Though only 5 episodes aired with another 5 produced but never shown, Laurie Hill's cancellation turned out to be the best thing that could have happened to Ellen. ABC fast-tracked a new sitcom around her, These Friends of Mine, later renamed simply Ellen, and the rest is history. Turns out stealing scenes was just rehearsal for stealing the spotlight. Coming in at number 9 on our countdown, let's slide over to NBC, where Out All Night seemed to have a recipe for success. Legendary soul diva Patti LaBelle in her first starring TV role, playing a former singer who owns a hip nightclub called Club Chelsea. What could go wrong? Well, as it turns out, everything. NBC placed this show in its coveted must-see TV Thursday lineup, but viewers clearly considered it more of a can-skip TV experience. The true tragedy here isn't just the wasted potential of LaBelle's star power, but the show failing to recognize it had struck gold with a young, charismatic actor named Morris Chestnut. Years before he became a leading man and certified heartthrob in films like The Best Man and Two Can Play That Game, Chestnut was playing the club's manager. Yet the show never fully capitalized on his natural charm.
Great being a grown-up, isn't it?
The cast also included Vivica A. Fox just before her breakout in Independence Day would make her a household name. Talk about a stacked deck of future stars. Despite its premium time slot and genuine musical performances from LaBelle, Out All Night lasted just 1 season. Critics complained the writing never matched the caliber of its performers, with many noting the show wasted LaBelle's considerable talents. At number 8 on our countdown, here's a TV disaster that makes us wonder what the actual heck this network was thinking. After her dramatic exit from Designing Women, Delta Burke was TV's hottest free agent in 1992. ABC won the bidding war and created Delta, a sitcom about a sassy Southern belle pursuing country music stardom while slinging drinks at a Nashville honky-tonk. This recipe included a beloved star, a fish-out-of-water setup, original country songs in every episode, so on paper, this should have been gold. But in reality, it was pure chaos.
Oh, Delta, wasn't Jimmy amazing? When he sang If Men Don't Cry once there's stuff coming out of my eye.
Critics absolutely savaged Burke's singing. One critic joked her vocals didn't exactly scream Nashville star. Talk about brutal. Keep your eyes peeled for a baby-faced Bill Engvall years before he joined the blue-collar comedy tour. After 15 painful episodes and more time slot changes than Burke had costume changes, ABC finally put Delta out of its misery. The lesson? Star power can't save a show that doesn't know what it's trying to be. And number 7 on our countdown, it's time to journey into the future, or at least what 1992 thought the future would be. It's Terminator 2's moment in pop culture, and cop shows are printing money. Naturally, some NBC genius decides, hey, why don't we mash those two together, and thus Mann and Machine is born, a sci-fi police drama set in the distant future of 2007 LA. Yes, really. The show paired Detective Bobby Mann, played by David Andrews, with Eve Edison, played by Yancey Butler, a super advanced android programmed to be the perfect police officer. It's like someone watched Blade Runner and Law & Order on the same night after too many wine coolers.
Well, that reminds me, I have to feed mine. Do you mind if I stop by my place before I drop you?
Why would I mind?
If you looked close enough, you'd see S. Epitha Merkerson in a supporting role just 1 year before she joined the actual Law & Order as Lieutenant Van Buren for what would become a 17-season run. That's a good career move, Epitha. Despite a blockbuster budget, viewers couldn't get past the awkward tone. The leads had about as much chemistry as a man arguing with his microwave. 9 episodes later, NBC shut down this robot cop before she could even discover the meaning of love, or decent ratings. Quick poll for you. Have you actually watched any of these shows so far? Drop the name below if you did, because that deserves serious retro TV cred, and while you're commenting, don't forget to pummel that like button. And number 6 on our countdown is the show that gave us babyface Tobey Maguire before anyone knew who he was. Great Scott starred 17-year-old Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker, Scott Melrod, a high school freshman with an imagination on steroids. The pitch meeting must have been wild. It's like if Ferris Bueller had an even more turbocharged imagination. 1 second, Scott's bored in class. The next, he's sword-fighting pirates or playing detective in old-timey black and white. Basically, it was high school daydreaming taken to cartoon-level extremes years before shows like Family Guy made random fantasy cutaways popular.
Yeah, well, I had the coach blubbering like a baby. Almost.
Fox spent big on those fantasy sequences, but critics panned it, audiences changed channels, and the network had zero clue how to market it. 6 episodes later, poof, canceled faster than you can say with great power comes great responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
But hey, Tobey got his first starring role, and we got a weird little time capsule of the kid who'd eventually swing through Manhattan. Sometimes TV failure is just the first step toward superhero stardom. Move honor. And number 4 on our countdown, remember that Drew Barrymore show that we had from the intro? Well, by 1992, primetime soaps were basically printing money. Melrose Place had just premiered, 90210 was every teenager's obsession, and CBS wanted their slice of the sexy drama pie. Enter 2000 Malibu Road, possibly the most expensive 6 episodes of nothing ever filmed. The cast was a mix of established stars and rising talent. Jennifer Beals' headline, still best remembered for Flashdance from nearly a decade earlier, Drew Barrymore appeared during the early comeback of her career, long before becoming the queen of rom-coms. Lisa Hartman Black was along for the ride too, fresh from her successful run on Knots Landing, and rounding out the Beach House Quartet was Tuesday Knight, and I don't mean a night of the week, I mean the same Tuesday Knight who took over as Kristen in A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, playing the spoiled rich girl with serious daddy issues. It all had the ingredients of a primetime soap. Secret, scandals, and 4 women under one very dramatic roof. But instead of slow burns, the show tried to cram a full season's worth of twists into every episode. CBS went all in, dropping a reported $1.5 million per episode in $1992 on gorgeous beach locations and glossy production. They ran it as a summer series, hoping to hook viewers for the fall. There was one tiny problem. The show tried to cram a season's worth of scandals into each episode. Affairs, blackmail, and a murder all in hour 1. Viewers got whiplash trying to keep up. 6 episodes later, CBS yanked it off the air. Mid-scandal, mid-affair, mid-everything. The show has since gained a small cult following, probably more for its ambition than its actual execution. Hear ye, hear ye! Coming in at number 3 and taking bronze in our countdown, step back into the medieval madness of ABC's most ambitious misfire. If you've ever thought, you know what TV really needs? Game of Thrones, but if you make it in 1992 with a sitcom budget. Congratulations! You're now starting to think like an ABC exec. Covington Cross transported viewers to 14th century England to follow Sir Thomas Grey and his adult children navigating political intrigue, forbidden romance, and the occasional jousting accident. It starred Nigel Terry, literally King Arthur from Excalibur, and Ione Skye, just a few years removed from her boombox moment in Say Anything.
It's just, I don't like you carrying around these venomous feelings for the Greys.
You never cared about the Greys?
ABC spent a fortune filming on location in actual English castles, confident they had the next big hit. The show was essentially Dallas with swords instead of oil wells. Despite throwing medieval money at authentic costumes and sets, audiences weren't interested in watching knights and ladies scheme on Saturday nights when they could be, having actual lives. After just 7 episodes with 6 more produced but never aired in the US, ABC put Covington Cross out of its misery, proving that sometimes even the most ambitious concepts can't overcome terrible scheduling. Our silver spot and number 2 goes to a show that came before Glee. The Heights proved that assembling attractive young people into a fictional band doesn't automatically create music television magic. Fox's 1992 dramedy centered on a working-class garage band with big dreams and even bigger hair. The network hoped to capture lightning in a bottle after Beverly Hills 90210, but instead created a show that was forgotten faster than most one-hit wonders. Here's the kicker. The Heights actually produced a legitimate #1 hit single with How Do You Talk to an Angel, which topped the Billboard charts while the show was simultaneously getting canceled. Viewers liked the band's music more than the actual show. The cast included Charlotte Ross, later of NYPD Blue, and Alex Desire from Swingers and Becker, but the most interesting story belongs to frontman Jamie Walters. After The Heights, Walters played Ray Pruitt, Donna's abusive boyfriend on 90210, and played it so convincingly that fans would scream at him in public, "Leave Donna alone." The connection to our countdown? Walters was once engaged to Drew Barrymore. Yes, that Drew Barrymore from number 4. Their romance ended as his career took a hit from the 90210 backlash. He eventually left Hollywood, lamenting that he went from being a pop star to people thinking I beat my girlfriend. The Heights lasted just 12 episodes, proving sometimes the band breaks up before the tour even gets started. We're almost at our #1 flop, so if you're enjoying this trip through TV's forgotten disasters, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. The next episode is already in production, and it's the show with the most comments that gets our deep dive treatment. And finally, at number 1, the biggest flop of 1992, this show had a pedigree so perfect it should have been enshrined in the Smithsonian. However, it's buried in NBC's shame pile. The Powers That Be starred John Forsythe, fresh off Dynasty mega fame as a clueless US senator surrounded by dysfunctional family and staff. The creative team? Just Marta Kaufman and David Crane, who would later create a little show called Friends 2 years later. Plus Norman Lear, the legend behind All in the Family and basically all of 70s television, so not a big deal or anything.
Come along, young man. We'll let your grandmother decide.
Oh, hello, Pierce, child. Come give your grandma a kiss.
The cast was stacked. Alongside Forsythe were Holland Taylor, David Hyde Pierce right before Frasier, and a tiny Joseph Gordon-Levitt decades before Inception. Peter MacNicol from Ghostbusters 2 was there as well. NBC was trying to assemble the Avengers of sitcom talent years before that was even a thing. NBC's confidence was so high, they gave it a substantial commitment and prime promotional push before shooting even began. Every single element screamed hit show. So what went wrong? Well, the satire was too sharp for 1992 viewers who wanted their political comedy with training wheels. The characters were about as likable as a paper cut, with Forsythe's senator being so comically incompetent you'd wonder how he could tie his own shoes, let alone get elected. Critics bickered among themselves, but viewers spoke with their remotes. After painfully dragging through 21 episodes across 2 abbreviated seasons, NBC finally admitted defeat and yanked what was supposed to be their flagship comedy. The silver lining? David Hyde Pierce's performance caught the attention of the Frasier producers, leading directly to his casting as Niles Crane. Sometimes epic failure is just the awkward first step toward TV immortality. And there you have it, 10 forgotten TV flops from 1992 that crashed harder than a tube TV off a top bunk. So what did we miss? Did you actually watch any of these back in the day? Which failed 90s show should we cover next? The one with the most comments gets our deep dive treatment. Now, if you're into forgotten gems and gloriously weird failures, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until then, keep your tracking adjusted and your VCR heads clean.